This episode is sponsored by Press Cloud. They are dedicated to helping you create an internet presence for your brand, your business, firm, and anything you can think of that can have a website. Press Cloud gives out lifetime.com domain registration to its customers. You can check out my website nabguzichwanka.com to have an idea of what you too can get from their services. For more information about their services, visit edgepress.cloud. Welcome to Hashtag with Nabguzi Chwanuka. This is a place where we help you unravel social constructs, discuss self-development in line with mental health, emotional well-being, and everything in between that directly or indirectly affects us in the millennial world around us. If you're hearing my voice for the first time and are the kind of person who is not scared of being a better version of yourself even if it requires you to contradict who you were 24 hours ago, consider this your virtual home. I'm your host, Nabguzi Chwanuka, and I cannot wait to engage with you in the various conversations. Our guest today is Akatukwasa Aloysius, also known as Ian Emanzi Ruguza. I got to know Ian through a story shared on Untold Stories Uganda. In the story, he shared his experience with drug dependence or addiction and the process that led to his recovery. In this episode, Ian opens us up to the pitfalls of capitalism that led him into starting to use alcohol at an early age of 7. In the conversation, we dived into all the phases of using alcohol that culminated into drug dependency until he grew into the stage of rehabilitation. The conversation highlights before rehabilitation, the impact of drug dependency or usage, rehabilitation, relapse, how possible it is to go past a relapse, and his life ahead. If anything resonates with you during the conversation, share with us on social media using the hashtag HTNKInsession. Here's our conversation. Ian, welcome to Hashtag with Nabguzi Chwanuka.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, introduce yourself to us and so that we can have an idea of the person on set.
I'm Akatukwasa Aloysius Ian.
Wow. Wait. Okay. I didn't anticipate the others. Because I see Emanzi Rugunza or Ruguza?
Ruguza.
Ruguza.
Yes. Ruguza is my great-grandfather's name. Emanzi is a name that I got from an uncle. Emanzi actually means a brave person in Ruchiga. I'm Mchiga by tribe.
A brave person?
Yes.
Yeah.
So every time this uncle sees me, I believe even if he saw me right now and called me Emanzi, he would just shout, Emanzi Anje. Shouting, like literally shouting. Emanzi Anje, meaning my brave person. I don't know why he started calling me his brave person.
How long back did you get the name?
I decided to just take it up like 4 years back.
No, I mean when he started calling you that.
Like 6 years back.
6 years back is when he started calling you that?
Yes.
Oh yeah?
Yes.
You never got to ask him why?
I have never asked him why. I feel like it's from my experiences that he chose to call me his brave person.
Right.
Yeah.
So tell us about who Ian Akatukwasa is. Is it Akatukwasa or?
Akatukwasa.
Yeah.
Even the Ian name, all my documents, all my official documents have Aloysius. Akatukwasa Aloysius.
Whoa.
But I don't like the name.
Why?
Ian. I was given the name Ian by my parents, but on the time of my baptism, the father, the priest,
oh yeah, I know
declined the name, saying it's not a Catholic name. So him and his team chose a name for me.
Chose Aloysius.
Yeah, they gave me Aloysius.
Yeah. Which
is like a saint in the Catholic belief system. And they now rejected my Ian name. I feel like it's what I would have been comfortable to be identified as.
So tell us about who you are.
I'm a fun-loving person.
Fun-loving person.
And I love music a lot.
Yeah. What genre is your best?
Hip-hop.
Do you rap?
I don't rap.
Do you aspire to be a rapper?
I'm a poet, actually.
Oh, yeah?
And I rap, hip-hop has an element of rhythm and rhyme.
And what do you do? How does someone get to know you beyond music and your name?
I don't really know how I can answer that, but beyond that, I write poems.
You write poems. Yeah. So is it okay?
I have some published on the internet. 55.
55?
Yeah.
Where do you put that? I've not seen any of that.
There is a site called hellopoetry.com.
Wow. So you don't share on social media?
I used to, but I felt like I used to share them on my Facebook when I was still trying to discover this. Can I actually do this? Putting them on Facebook to get that feedback.
Right.
Until I reach a point I'm like, this is for me. I can do this. I don't need the validation that comes from Facebook. Now I started looking for out there where I can put them and share this talent that I now know. I'm sure about.
That you have it. Yeah.
I landed on Hello Poetry, where there are like millions of poets. And very few of them that are from Uganda.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
So you're one of the few Ugandans on Hello Poetry. I'll have to look it up. I've never heard of it. So, Ian, tell us who Ian looked like between the ages of 6 and 12 before you became a teenager.
Ian was a very skinny young child.
Yeah.
Young child, is that a word? Young child.
There is an old child. They're old children. I am an old child of my mother.
You're an old child. Ian was a very young child.
Yeah.
Very skinny young child. At some point I had squint eyes. Yeah, because I had an accident when I was very young, 1998. I was 4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a bad accident that almost took my life. And as a result, I don't know how it happened. I lost an organ, and also around that time, I don't know what happened really, but I had squint eyes. So I had to go through a surgery to recover my positioning of the eyes.
Oh, yeah. And it came out right. I mean, by me saying that, I'm just seeing you now. It's not in a place of comparison.
Yeah, it can't. You can't if you never knew about it.
Yeah.
But it was perfect.
How long did you stay with the squint eyes?
I think like few months.
Few months.
After the hospitalization. Because after the accident, I was in hospital for like 4 months. I had a car accident, a very bad car accident.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're looking at you going through moments of sadness. That's the age of 4.
Yeah, 4.
That means you don't remember much.
I don't remember much about. Because at some point I think I had amnesia. Because of the accident.
Oh.
But I remember very well that I was involved in a bad car accident.
Is it that you talked about it with your parents?
Talked about the...
Yeah, like, you know how parents come to a space of, oh my God, we almost lost you.
I know about the accident because it was big news in the place where I was staying. And I know about it because I have this scar on my tummy. And a spoiled organ had to be removed. The spleen.
So something got messed up.
Yeah.
And they had to get...
The spleen.
They had to get rid of it.
It had to be removed.
At how old did you come to a place of awareness that, oh my God, I have an organ that is missing? When you were very much aware of your body? Because sometimes we have scars on our bodies.
Yeah.
And we're like, yeah, that's part of me. And we never really get to ask questions.
Now, growing up, I wasn't really so bothered about the scar that I have on my tummy. But I think like around P7, Form 1, that's when I started asking the questions.
What happened to me?
What happened here?
Yeah.
I know I was involved in an accident, but what happened? I think that's when I got the information that something had to be removed and all that.
Yeah. And what happened in your mind?
Oh, I don't really remember. I can't really put a feeling of what was happening in my mind at that point.
Yeah.
But I remember that I was so mad at my mom. I felt like she was negligent of me to have been involved in the accident.
Wow.
Now, it's recently that I've really appreciated that I was so mad at her during rehab. Because it was discovered that even during my using, part of the things that were inspiring me to just keep using was the anger that I had, the inner wounds that I had, and the anger was towards my mom.
Why did you feel like she was negligent?
Because I felt like I was very young. By the time I got the accident, where was she?
Where was she?
Yeah, like I was just 4 years old. Where was my mom? I'm told on the day of the accident, I think I also had a blurry idea that there was a promotion those promotions that
the companies,
done, that are done on different villages, promoting a new product. It was a sportsman promotion.
Cigarettes.
Yeah, cigarettes. I remember it very well. As if I remember it very well. Even before I was told, I knew there's something.
Something about it.
Yeah. This accident, it was because of that promotion.
Yeah.
Now, my mom tells me at the rehab, like recently, she tells me it was even my birthday on the day when I got that accident.
Wow.
I didn't even made for you a cake. How can you say that I didn't like you, that I was negligent of you?
Or you got into conversation. Yeah. And you've talked about you using. When do you think it might have started? Because now we're looking at you between the ages of 12 and 13.
Yeah.
When you get this information about what really happened.
Yes.
Going forward, let's have a look at the ages between 13 and 18 or 19.
13 and 19. I actually grew up from Rukunjiri, and I remember while I was still in Rukunjiri, I had already started using alcohol.
Between those ages?
Yeah. I started using alcohol when I was like 7 or 9.
Before you were a teenager?
Yeah, before I was a teenager. During those...
You have any idea of how you got introduced to it?
I don't really know, but I know it was peer influence.
Peers?
Yeah, peers.
At the age of 7?
At the age of 7.
You had age mates that influenced you into that at that age?
Because I remember...
Like, there were also 7?
There were these tote packs, small, very small, like they were selling them to us at 200 shillings.
Oh.
I realized when I came to Kampala that these were samples. Before these...
There were samples?
Yes. Before these alcohol companies, the ones that used to make tote packs, plastic, those Cavera tote packs, the ones that were there back then before they were banned, before they brought in a new product, they'd bring very small samples of those.
I didn't even know that.
To different places.
Ooh.
Now, back there in the village, these people would get them, I think, from the urban centers and bring them for sale. We were getting those at 100 shillings. I believe it was 100 shillings.
So the money that is given to you for break?
Not really for break. I think we were even stealing from
oh my
drugs.
Goodness.
Because the place where we were staying at was like a trading center, and most of our parents had shops. I remember very well.
And they didn't have sight of you doing those things?
Maybe.
Doing the purchases?
No. But these shopkeepers would give us the alcohol.
Imagining that you were sent, or they had an idea that you're actually consuming this?
Yes, because they want a profit.
Oh my God.
Just because they want to make a sale. Because clearly, a normal person wouldn't be buying that very small thing. They'd buy the bigger one.
And you always kept going to the same shop?
Yeah. I'm even seeing the picture of the shop right now in my mind. Because it was the same shop.
Yeah. Now, you've talked about how you we're doing this flashback of you at the age of 7. And we are talking about how you started using.
Yeah.
Do we then look at that as using? At that age of 7, when you were taking these, do I call them shots?
Shots.
When you were taking these shots.
Little shots.
They're smaller than the normal shots?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Like how many meals are those?
Like 3 meals.
You're kidding?
Or maybe like 5, I don't know.
Really? Yeah. That's very tiny.
Very tiny.
So when you were taking these, do you have a memory of what it felt like at that age?
I don't really have a memory of how it felt. I remember that I kept going.
You kept going back.
It progressed to a bigger tote pack, Royal Vodka.
And that is still below the age of 12?
No, this was like 300 shillings or 400 shillings.
That was still below the age of 12?
The other one was 100 shillings. Now this is 300 shillings or 400 shillings. That was quite good. I remember the scent and...
Still at the age of 12? Rather below at 12. The age of 7 still?
Around 7, 9.
Wow. And your parents had no idea? You never got high?
I don't know, but they never found out.
And were you aware that you had to do this in hiding?
Yes. I think we were aware we were doing this bad thing.
But in broad daylight, you're purchasing this?
Definitely, broad daylight.
Because I imagine in the evenings your parents want you home.
Definitely, because we were very small.
Yeah.
By 7, 8, we're supposed to be home.
Yeah.
It's definitely during broad daylight.
So are we looking at you doing this during the holidays? Because the other days you'd be at school.
I was in a day school.
So the moment you leave school?
Sometimes, not every day, but sometimes whenever I leave school, that's the plan. That's the plot.
Plot?
Yeah.
Wow. And then looking at you coming to the place of buying the one of 300, and then you kept advancing and advancing to bigger or more liters?
Now, I don't really remember progressing so much, but I remember now, once in a while, buying that big one, the Royal Vodka. It was very odorless. No matter how much you took, very odorless. And if it drops on your cloth.
So you were taking that, you said Royal Vodka.
Royal Vodka.
You were taking Royal Vodka with that in mind, that it is odorless and therefore no one would find out?
Yes.
That is until how old?
Until like 12. But now I come to secondary school. Now this was out of control. Form 1. Now I left the village when I was in P7. Yeah. After I left P7, after I finished my P7, that's when I left the village and came to the city. It's around that time that now our dad decided that we all move to the city as a family.
Yeah.
Now, around that time, Form 1, Form 2, I was in a very strict school, Seta High, very strict. I couldn't get the access. Maybe if I had it, I could have still been using. Because the moment I left, the moment I was expelled, I didn't just leave, I was expelled.
From Seta?
Yes. I went to a school where I won what had been missing out on, maybe. Because in this school, kids were able to escape and go out there. Now, my using really good, supported here.
How long did you stay in Seta?
1 year and a half.
1.5 years.
I finished my whole Form 1 and I was expelled in the second term of Form 2.
And in that period when you weren't, I don't know, do I say dependent? I don't even know. Were you just doing it for fun, or was it a particular moment that was driving you to
just
buying?
for fun.
For fun?
Yeah.
Just feel elated and move
elated. That's the perfect word. Just to feel that elation for those few minutes.
And then life goes on.
Life moves.
So for 1.5 years, what was it like without you using that?
Normal life.
Normal. So you
hasn't so addicted. I hasn't addicted yet. It was normal. It would be normal. I don't remember using at any point in Seta.
Yeah.
I don't. But I don't remember being depressed that I wasn't getting access to alcohol. Yeah.
You were fine with it.
Good.
And then you went to a different school where it was easy for you to access.
When I was expelled from Seta, I went to a school called Kajasi Progressive. Very crazy school. I don't know how they admit them, but by then...
You feel like there's a category that goes there?
Man. It's like the rejects of other schools. That's where they would end up. Of course, they had good kids, but many rejects of other schools. Many of them wouldn't qualify to be at Seta High for more than a term. Alcohol and other drugs.
Yeah.
Marijuana, cigarettes, and maybe others that I didn't know about then. Heroin.
So in that period, you had only advanced to Royal Vodka, and now you're seeing new things.
I'm seeing new things.
Had you ever heard of them before, or you just saw people?
Things that I hadn't seen before, alcohol that I hadn't seen before. It's around here that I started doing beer, because we would escape and go to club.
In the night?
In the night. Form 3, early Form 2 and Form 3. Because I was eventually also expelled from that school. But
what led to the expulsion? Usage still?
No, I was just a stubborn child.
Yeah.
A lot. I ended up being pointed out. Even in this school where there were many stubborn chaps, I ended up being pointed out.
You'd be known.
Yeah. I stood out.
Yeah.
I was eventually expelled with some few friends. Because every time when it's time for roll call, I'm missing out on the list. When it's time for catching some, I'm among the ones that have been caught.
Oh.
Noisemakers, I'm among them. I ended up being expelled.
Yeah.
As I went through 11 schools to finish my high school. I know of some people that have been...
11 schools to finish
from Form 1 to Form 6.
Damn. That is like 2 schools.
But
no, like
almost
2 schools per class.
Yeah, per class, not really.
Wow.
Yeah, okay, maybe.
Okay. And then so did you ever get to, you say you started taking beer?
What
else were you introduced to?
The first time I really took a beer was when I had escaped from school and gone to club.
Oh, you went to club?
Yes. KK Club.
I know KK Beach in Gaba.
Yeah,
I don't know if he's still there.
There is KK, the movie translator. I believe it's believed that he was the first movie translator in Uganda.
Oh yeah? I don't know about that.
He's the one that taught Vijay Jingo how to do that. And
so he's the owner
Jingo
of...
right now is like a big time movie translator. He's even retired, I guess. But
yeah,
that started because of Vijay KK.
So KK is the owner of KK Beach?
KK is the owner of KK Club.
That's just the club?
KK Movie Club. Now,
movie club.
Yes. On top of the building, there is a club, KK Club. Down is KK Movie Center Club, something like that.
That was in Kajansi still?
Where you watch him doing his thing live.
Oh, you're the people that were hearing screaming.
Yeah.
Oh, you featured in a certain film?
God must be crazy. So,
you featured in... Oh, wow. Yeah, you took beer for the first time at KK
and
Movie Club.
I don't know if I should, but it's my life. But it's the first time I also paid to have sex with a prostitute.
You're kidding?
Of my pocket money.
Oh my God. That was an older woman, I imagine.
Very older. Because I'm like 15, 16. Definitely she was way older, like 10 years plus.
And did she ever say anything to you like, hey...
And all she wants is the money. If you can afford her 5 to 10K, that's what she wants. And they knew we were from school.
Wow.
Most of them knew. Because I didn't eat, the first time didn't eat there. I went there more and more times. Every time we went to club, we knew we had to budget for that too.
You had to budget?
Yeah.
Wow.
Sometimes those who just go out for that.
Oh, just that? Yeah. And now we're seeing you coming to a space where you talk about addiction. At what point do you feel like the addiction may have started? Was it in that progressive school?
No.
Where it had to, see you as far as budgeting?
I started using alcohol, marijuana when I was in Form 5. I'd been expelled from St. Peter's Nalia. Because of that, the expulsion that happened after just 2 terms into Form 5 at St. Peter's Nalia, my dad felt like I wasn't serious about the school.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not really all about school. Let's first give him some time.
Oh, so they gave you time off?
Yeah. Now, during that time, instead of going to 3rd term, I'm here at home. 3 months, a lot happened. A lot changed mentally. I ended up using marijuana because of the friends I had around during the 3 months. I was out of school. Ended up using marijuana for my first time. The very first time. And I didn't stop. That was 2012. I didn't stop.
When you were out of school, when you were expelled from St. Peter's, was it because of usage? Or just being stubborn?
Just being stubborn, but there was also suspecting that I'm among the people that use alcohol and other drugs. Because it was known that some people use alcohol, other drugs in the school. Some people escape from school and bring in these things.
Yeah.
And you have this very notorious chap. It definitely must be among them. Now there is this time I was brought back from home. It was around time when we had finished our exams and I went back home because I just didn't feel the vibe of staying in school after we had done our exams. Going back home, my dad asked me for the pass out. I didn't have it. He decided to take me himself on the day of reporting. It's like he had reported me that I had escaped. To allow me back into school, I was given a punishment. He was told to cane me and I'm allowed back into school. Definitely that put me on the list of people that escaped.
Yeah.
At the end of that term, I was expelled.
And when you were expelled on the suspicion of usage, and wasn't there a moment where you felt like, this is going to lead me in trouble? How about I stop doing it?
Around that time, I was only using alcohol. but not so oftenly and not so deep into it. Once in a while, I buy 2 or 3 totes and take from the ones that would have brought them in. But it progressed after I was expelled from there. Around that time, when I was expelled from Nalia, is when I started alcohol. I started marijuana and eventually alcohol, and it got serious.
What was going on in your mind? Did you feel like a failure? Like you had disappointed your parents?
I felt like a failure. I felt like I had disappointed my people, and I felt rejected.
By the school?
By my people, by my parents.
By the rejection, is that because you were laid out or you were kept out of school?
Yes.
Did you have a conversation with them as to why maybe you're not going back to school?
They come from this. I don't know, but we don't really have conversations with them. Even now, maybe our mom, but we don't really have a conversation with our dad. He just says what he wants to say and that's it.
No conversation.
He just says what he wants to say, or you say what you want to say and that's it. He says some 1 or 2 things and that's the end of it. The only times we've had conversations with him is when it's about politics, but when it gets heated, he just moves away. For example, he's of the ruling regime and most of us in the house are opposition. When it gets heated, he just moves away.
And now the friends that you got in the 3 months, they were also out of school?
I think they were in the VAC.
They were much older.
Much older. They're VAC, I believe. One of them could have been at campus or in an institute.
And were they aware of your plight?
Definitely.
No conversation with them either? Like, hey, you need to get serious?
Not really.
So you went on with the usage of marijuana?
Yeah. Now, it went on up to the point, I remember where I really used marijuana is when I went to a school called Bombo Army Secondary School.
And they strict? An army school?
That's what was expected. That's how I ended up in an army school. I had been a stubborn chap all my school life, and they felt like he might not finish school because of a certain family friend who had a connection to that army school. I ended up in the school, and they know, we have him in check. Like mistress was a friend to his girl. That led my parents to the place. I was actually under supervision. But
you were under supervision?
Yes, but I was staying in a hostel, which is outside the school. It was a day school. It's a day school. I was staying in a hostel where she can't be.
Had they taken her through what it is that you're struggling with?
Yes.
So she didn't even imagine that it can be done out of campus?
She talked to the custodian about my plight and everything.
Yeah.
The custodian couldn't really do anything to me.
He wasn't watching you?
He wasn't. Because after classes, I would have to go to some place. It's like a kilometer out of Bombo town. And Bombo, Oluwero, is like the epicenter of marijuana in Uganda.
Oh, yeah?
Oluwero as a whole. That's where all the marijuana in Uganda comes from.
I think all of it for the country.
So it's the supply of the whole country.
Is it?
The biggest part. Because for 1,000, the amount I could get, 1,000 shillings, the amount I could get back in Kampala, this was like times 10.
Oh, you're basically doing, what is that thing they do in business? Wholesale?
Yes. You're doing wholesale with 1,000. Back in Kampala, you get like 2 joints, at max 3 joints.
At 1,000?
Yes, 1,000. The other side, you're getting like a big stash of marijuana that you can use to have like 10 joints.
Wow. And so every end of class? No, is it every end of class or is it every end of school hours?
Every end of school hours.
Yeah.
But sometimes even during school, I would slope down like a few meters out of the school premises to the town and catch a joint or 2.
I feel like when you're talking about this, I feel like the school knowing where it is located and what happens in the area, they should have been more attentive when it comes to their students.
They're supposed to be vigilant and all that, and it's an army school, but they weren't as strict as I had expected.
And now we're having you in Bombo, the army school, having joints even during school hours.
Even during school hours. Because I remember a particular day where I was doing a test and I couldn't do anything. After writing my name, I just dozed off.
Because you were high?
Yeah.
And you didn't wake up?
I didn't wake up up to the point of telling us it was time up.
What happened in your mind at that moment? What did you think? I'm doomed. Did you ever think that?
Yeah, I'm doomed, but I've just messed up. But this is just a test. This is not UNEB.
Oh, ace it at UNEB?
Yeah. Because even during that whole struggle, maintaining myself in school, in one school for some good time, I still maintaining my brightness because I was quite bright chap.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So, talking about you maintaining yourself in the school, is it that you felt like, okay, I have to make sure that I don't leave the school?
I would sometimes try and do that. Like I don't have to be expelled this time around. Just wouldn't work out. I know of a school where, I remember a school where I was suspended. The only school where I was suspended, Tindavi College. I was expelled after 9 days of being in the school. Suspended. After 9 days.
What did you do? You escaped?
No, I was caught smoking a cigarette.
Wow. This is just a normal cigarette. Tobacco.
Yeah.
Not marijuana or anything.
Yeah, tobacco. I was caught smoking and I was suspended.
Is that after Bombo or
Before?
Yeah.
Oh, I actually finished my high school from Bombo.
Oh, you managed to get there from your S5 to S6, and now
I did 1 year there, Form 6 there.
Oh, you only Form 6. So in Tinderview is where you had your Form 5.
Yeah, Tinderview. Then I expelled at the end of the term because I was caught after 9 days and suspended. I was definitely in the bad list. I was eventually expelled. Then I got to Seta High, Green Campus, expelled.
You were about to go to all the Setas.
Yeah. I was almost going to all the setters.
I think there are 2.
There are 3.
There are 3, yeah?
I was only left with Ambalala.
You didn't bother trying.
I could have.
Yeah.
But now, after Green Campus, I was taken to Bomb. And that's how I managed to finish, because I think I would have been expelled if I didn't go to a school where my family had a strong connection with the administrator.
Yeah.
We know his things, but let him just stay here.
The kind of system.
Yeah.
So do we now look at that as your start of being dependent?
Yes. My start of being dependent on marijuana was at Bombo.
Where they thought it would be safer. Yeah. Where they had to, stand you.
Where they felt like he's in an army school, so safe here.
That is when everything went down.
It spiraled out of control.
And you got into the university?
Yeah, I got to university after all that. But now during the time I was I was in my vacation, Form 6 vacation, I had already dependent on marijuana.
So marijuana was the only thing that you're using at that time?
It's the only drug I was addicted to. Marijuana and alcohol. But I reached a point and also got so addicted to cigarettes. So it was alcohol, cigarettes and marijuana.
Combination of 3 things.
Yes. Now, during the time I was in my work, I really used those things. I really did.
Yeah.
But I ended up, I passed my Form 6 and went to university, UCU, and I really used at UCU.
I mean, we're looking at all these places that I imagine to be strict, but you can't do much in UCU. I know. No. I was there.
I was admitted to UCU in 2015. I finished my Form 6 in 2014. 2015, I was in UCU. I signed up for project planning and entrepreneurship. I didn't manage to do that. It's supposed to be a 3-year course.
What happened?
I was at UC for 5 years and still didn't graduate.
Oh my dear. What happened?
Because of the lifestyle I was leading, I had dead years and retakes and all that. I was almost expelled from UC. Yeah. I was almost expelled from university.
Wow.
I was suspended.
That is on the extreme.
Yeah.
What would have been the reasons? You dodging classes?
Well, the very first time I was taken to the UCU police station, I was caught with a matchbox while entering. After like coming from that ghetto and all that, I forgot a match. I thought maybe it wouldn't be such a big deal, but now I have this smell of marijuana and cigarettes. So I think I was drunk and have a matchbox in my pocket. They didn't find anything else. I taken to the police station because of a matchbox. And now, around that time, I also used to, because of the using the money that I would get from home as upkeep, I would spend it like within 2 weeks. Sometimes within a week, because I had this bad habit of like reaching club or reaching bar and I'm buying for all my friends. In the ghetto, I'm buying for like most people that are around me. They give you that thing of bakue now bakue.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know the money will come. But there is a point where it wasn't coming. They give me the money and that's it. I end up stealing from my roommates and all that.
Wow.
Laptops, phones, even to a point of clothes and stuff, because I know I had a market of that in the ghetto. Shoes.
Oh, in the ghetto.
Yeah.
So this money was for what exactly? When you wanted to have the money?
To supply myself with the drugs constantly, not to be out of supply.
Yeah. Were your parents ever in suspicion that at campus it had gone out of control?
Yeah, because whenever I was locked up like 7 times in the UCU police station.
So the first time it was the matchbox?
No, another time, I don't know, but I think I was caught. I suspected of stealing something and I was taken there. Of course, the suspicion was right. I would end up handing in my dad's number. He had to pay for whatever I had taken for me to be released, compensate. Something I sold, I took away and sold for like 200, 150. I had to pay for the real amount of like 600,000.
And what was going on in your mind, seeing all this happening? You're saying you have sold something so cheap and then your dad has to pay a bigger amount of money and it just keeps happening. Was there a moment where you felt like, at what point do I stop doing this?
I definitely feel like that. I need to stop this. How can I stop this? I just didn't seem to find a way of stopping because I was enslaved by the drugs. enslaved by marijuana. It's particularly marijuana that was my challenge. I would sometimes kind of miss lectures, miss small tests they give at UCU of 5 marks. I think it's just 5 marks. I'll add up that. You'll reach a point where you don't have the 35 that they need for you to qualify to go for the exam. You miss a particular course unit, or you have all that and you're missing something, coursework marks. You will not pass that particular course unit. I reached a point and felt like I need to stop this, but I couldn't. I remember there was a time I was coming from the ghetto.
But the ghetto, I only know one ghetto. Is that Kamwacha?
There are different ghettos. There could be a ghetto behind this building. There could be a ghetto across behind the American embassy. A ghetto is just.
So there were ghettos in Mukono that you were going to.
Yeah, the ghetto is just like a safe haven where people can go and do their thing.
Yeah,
they're not really safe, but for the meantime, before the police comes, they're safe.
Before the police
they're
comes,
out of the public,
and no one is going to judge you there.
Yeah, there you're in this world you're out of the real world. You're in another world. There is a difference between a slum and a ghetto.
Oh, now I need to go into research to tell the difference. What is the difference?
Chinawataka, that's a slum. Chisenyi, that's Katanga, that's a slum. But now, such behaviors that are within the ghetto, they are so supported in slums. So
in a slum, there can be a ghetto?
Yes.
Okay.
You can't find a rich man in a slum, but you'll find rich kids in a ghetto. A kid from Aga Khan. A kid from Kisu, International School, in a ghetto. Because of why he's looking for cocaine, which he won't get uptown.
That's right.
He won't get the heroin he's looking for where he's staying in Kololo. But he surely will get it in Katanga. From this very rugged looking guy, he'll surely get it. And you'll leave him with these 200,000.
I know, I understand. I thought a ghetto is like the whole village or something. That's a particular portion.
That's a slum area.
Of an area. Okay. And at what point did you get into rehab? Were you forced in, or did you, in your moments of introspection and feeling like I need to get better, could it have been your initiative that you felt like, let me go to the rehab?
2019 is when I was first admitted into St. Mary's Recovery Home. It's a home that I haven't visited in a long time, but that's my home because it gave me a life back. It brought me closer to my family again.
Yeah.
It made me recover myself. 2019 is it's around that time when I was almost expelled from university. I suspended for a full year, and the prerequisites of being admitted back, being allowed back, was for me to go to a rehabilitation center because they realized whichever people were in charge that were really observing my movements, custodian, the DOSA, the director of student affairs, because it would come from us in hall the whole time. My dad couldn't allow me to go into outside hostels. He felt like maybe in hall I would be safer.
It would be safer, yeah.
Now, I was in hall the whole time. It would come from the custodian to the DOSA's office to the police station. It was around there. Now, all these people came to a point and they're like, this particular man, this Akat Kwasa, this particular young man needs rehab. I feel like that. Because on this day when I was called, there was a time I was told I need to go to UCU there with him. And so we talked to some people. That was now the process of me almost finishing my suspension and I'm having to go back to uni. Someone that we met at the DOSA's office told them, this man needs rehab. But I think they had already talked and they knew what's up. He was just writing down different rehabilitation centers that he knew. From there, I was taken to the counselor's office, and I think that was the process. This was like a Wednesday. On a Friday, I went with 2 other people, my dad and a family friend, very close family friend. Wednesday, and on a Friday, this lady calls me. She's like, "Hey, Ian, what's up? I'm free today. Do you mind coming over? Let's spend the day together."
Yeah.
And I know she spends money, and I love money. I love having fun. She has money and she knows how to spend it.
Yeah.
And I love having fun. She's like, "You come and let's spend a day together." I'm like, "Sawa." Coming over, it's around breakfast time. She gets me breakfast and all. Then she gets serious. She's like, "By the way, we found a good place. That's where you can go. I want us to go with you. If you like it, we come and plan of how you'll go." At this time, I was also feeling like I needed the help. I didn't know what to expect in rehab. I knew rehab as a place for mentally ill people, mad, the way we call it in Uganda.
Yeah.
That one is mad. That's what I knew. I had that feeling of I need to go to a rehab, to a place where I can be corrected and helped about this addiction.
Did you ever get into a moment of asking yourself, have I come to this extent of needing rehab?
Yeah, I was talking about UC and I got lost. There was a time I was coming from the ghetto and I had a bag on my back and I removed the book I had because sometimes I would just leave class, the lecture room, and just go to the ghetto. I had this bag around like 9 or 10, pulled a book, I was drunk and staggering, and I pulled a book and I wrote, I think I need rehabilitation.
Oh, and put it in your state of highness.
On the road.
You were tired.
Yes. So it's dark-ish because there are some lights that are very strong. Dark-ish. I wrote in my book, I was like, I think I need rehabilitation.
Yeah.
Put it back in my bag, proceeded.
And that was before your family friend and your parents were told that they could take you for rehab.
Yeah. The time when I was admitted into the rehab, I was telling you, she was like, I found a place, we need to go and check it out. If you like it, we see how you'll be admitted, how you'll go back and do all these things. I'm like, it's okay, let me just go and check it out. So the plan of going to eat money wasn't actually going to eat money. It was a setup for me to be taken to a rehab. So she calls my dad. She's like, hey, if I come over, man, I need a lift. I remember I saw a bag, the back. I sat and she sat in front. I saw a bag. I knew I was doomed.
You didn't run out?
I didn't. But when my dad came within like 30 minutes or like an hour, and we stay in Chebando. This is Chengera, but he was there like in an hour's time. Like 30 to 1 hour. 30 minutes to 1 hour he was there.
It's something they had planned out well.
Yeah, there was a bag.
So when you saw the bag
that I know from home, I'm like,
a bag that you know from home.
I suspected I could be going for rehabilitation for real.
I've heard that some people often run.
Yeah.
Why is it that you didn't run?
Maybe there was that thing subconsciously that I needed the help. But I was just not aware of how rehab is. How do you manage that? I don't like being enclosed in a small space.
Yeah.
I know there is a word for that, but I don't know that exact word. But I don't like being enclosed, feeling like I'm enclosed in a place. The few times I've been in a jail cell, I just feel like I'm dying. I don't like being enclosed in a small space. Now, I reached this place and I feel like I'm being received for admission. I don't feel like I'm coming for a tour of the place. I get that feel of being received. Then a few minutes, a doctor has come in. Someone else has come in. 2 people received me, the directors of the place. Then a few minutes, we wait and wait. Then after like 40 minutes, this doctor comes in, and before you're admitted into that particular rehab, you have to first be interviewed. She interviews me about the kinds of drugs I've done and all that. I'm getting an injection.
Oh.
After the interview, they show me that I'm going to go for an injection. And before I get the injection, I'm seeing that friend of ours, I can call her auntie. She's coming in with a polythene bag. It was green, but somehow transparent. I'm seeing slippers. I'm seeing toothpaste, Colgate.
Yeah.
I'm finished. Yeah, I have nowhere to run. I have nowhere to run to. Now, before the injection, I first caused commotion. Like, you people are not leaving me. Yeah, after seeing those things, like, this is not the plan we had. This is totally not the plan we had.
Yeah.
I've seen these things that definitely shows I'm being left here. And all these, the guards of the place are already starting to surround me. 2 guys. I don't know, but I feel like maybe some of the people that are taken there are out of their minds. So they need someone to hold them, because some people are brought there on handcuffs. Now, they start surrounding me. I'm like, you people, I don't know what kind of people are brought here, but I'm very okay. I'm very perfect. Stop surrounding me like this. I don't like this. I just need to talk to my auntie there and my dad. Where is my dad? He had already moved out of the gate, because we had parked outside the gate. I really said very strong words to this woman, because before that time, we had only known each other for like a month. She hadn't been in my life, but she was in the background of my life. Like, physically, we had only met like a few days back. Around that time when we went together to UCU was also around the time we first met, like, physically. But she knew about me and knew about everything concerning me. Now, around this time when she went with me for the rehab, I'm like, I've just got to know you, and we're as if having a relationship, a good relationship. You've messed up the relationship like this by going behind my back like I'm such a traitor. I don't ever want to see you again. Said very strong words. She tells me she cried in the car, but I don't know, I wasn't there.
Yeah. How long were you there?
2019. That is the first time I was admitted to a rehab. There for 4 months.
4 months.
I was supposed to be there for 3 months, but around that time, the first month, I had some challenges. I don't know what I found there, but there were some South Sudanese that had like beef. Beef with us, some of us, the Ugandans, and I felt like they were being hostile towards us. I escaped from the rehab. Just jumped over the fence, because I already had that experience. Jumped over the fence and left the place. That exact day, my dad got me back to the place.
Oh, so you escaped and went home?
Yeah, I went home direct. He got police guys.
Did you feel like you still trust them after leaving you there? In another person's mind, they would feel like, if I go back, they would bring me back here.
Maybe. I felt like I still trusted him, because The moment I jumped over the fence, I went to a friend's place, smoked a joint, but I wasn't feeling it because of now the detox that I had. I smoked a cigarette before I got home. I wasn't liking
so they
it.
do a detox.
Yes, that's the injection you get on admission the first time. That's what the doctor gave me.
Okay.
I smoke a joint. I smoke a cigarette. I'm not liking it. I smoke a joint at a friend's place. I'm also not feeling it, but somehow feeling it. After the joint, I go back home, sleep. As I'm sleeping, I hear the sound of my dad's car. I know that's my dad. I look out and I'm like, he has brought me. I get excited. There's a gate he uses. They usually use it to enter the house. Now this time around, they opened and the car entered. I'm like, he has really brought my things that I left at the. Then he comes and violently, I'm like, whatever it is, it's because he's angry that I left the place, and he wants me to talk about it with him, and maybe I also get my thing.
Yeah.
An opening. It was a different person opening for me. For someone I don't know, plain clothes. Then I see handcuffs.
Oh.
Where is Danjaga? Where is Danjaga? I'm like, which Jaga? I'm handcuffed there and then. Two police guys, and I'm taken into the car. Straight to the rehab. I was supposed to spend there 3 months. That's how I spent there 4 months. Now the 1 month I had been there, I was cancelled.
Oh.
So I did more. I did afresh, like I was just being admitted. Because they knew definitely he has done something. That's their procedure. Whenever someone does something like that, crazy like that, just have to do afresh. So I spent there 4 months. Came out fresh, looking better than I was looking.
What was happening in those 4 months?
Normal rehab routine, but as...
What does normal look like?
You wake up, freshen up, take breakfast, chill for like an hour, go for psychoeducation.
Oh, you go into education?
Yeah. You're being taught about how drugs affect your life and different drugs. And a lot more concerning your body and the mind and everything. They go beyond that and also go into the social part.
Yeah.
How the drugs affect you and your relationships. They also go beyond that and also go to now the whole body. Just the mind that is majorly affected by the drugs.
Yeah. And in those 4 months when you were there, did you feel like it was worth it?
The first month, I was so mad at my dad for having left me there. Like my dad that I know loves me so much. How could he leave me here? Such a place made for mad people. I'm here. He's the one that left me here. And this woman that I don't even know about.
How dare she have power in my life?
How did she come up in my life and start doing such? I don't like that. I don't ever need to see that woman. Those were the thoughts. And I'm constantly thinking about my friends, the friends I left behind and what they could be doing. It is not actually much that they were all about in the same life. In the second month and the third, I felt like it was worth it. When I started realizing how much weight I was gaining.
Oh.
Yeah. I was looking way better than the first time my dad saw me. He came after 3 weeks.
Oh, to check on you?
He didn't really show it, but he was impressed. Now, he comes back with that lady after another week. The lady just screamed, like, what? Is that you? Like at a big time, yeah.
She was happy?
Yeah, she was very happy, like excited.
And what did you feel? Did you still hate her at that time?
I felt good. She had come to check on me and I'm like already looking better. She brought for me pork.
Yeah.
So that somehow took away that.
So now you're going to start mending relationships over pork. You talked about in the story, I got to know you of Untold Stories Uganda.
Yeah.
And you talked about how you had a moment when you relapsed.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, it was a sad moment for me. Around that time, I had really maintained the sobriety for some time.
Some time is like how long?
Like 6-7 months.
That is out of rehab?
Yeah. No, it was actually like 9 months. Because I came out in December and that particular event happened in October. A few months after the rehab, I got a girlfriend and we're in a relationship, but she got pregnant and aborted. Something I'd never thought of. And now I don't think of it. I don't think I can ever be in a position where I have to support such. It was against my values and beliefs and all that. She was fine with it. I felt like she made it feel like she had reasons, strong reasons. The main one being like I didn't have a job and wasn't financially stable, so she couldn't. And herself also not financially stable. It really devastated me and took me aback. It was so sad, but I'm glad I got over it. But around the time when it had just happened, a lot happened in my mind mentally. And I just went deep into the using again. I remember a friend that was also using telling me, man, it seems you've gone back to that thing of when we were just starting this thing.
So your friend had moved away?
Yeah, he was also using again, still using. But I remember him telling me when we met in the ghetto, I was back to going to the ghetto. I remember when we met there and he told me, man, it seems you've come back to those days of when we were just starting this.
And was he raising it out of concern or
out of
delight?
Concern, out of concern that I was losing weight.
So much as he was using, he didn't want you to go back into that.
He didn't want me to go back into it deep like I seemed. Because he first commented about the weight. I was losing a lot of weight very drastically. I think that's one of the things it does to me, the drugs. That's one of the things that really show me that right now I'm allergic to that and I don't need it.
Yeah.
Because within a few weeks of using, I just lose a lot of weight. And someone that knows me definitely can start to suspect.
And then what happened in that moment? What did you do? How many months did you get back into that?
From October 2020 to 2021, I was again admitted to rehab in 2021 on the 1st of August.
1st of August.
The other time it had been 9th August. Now this time around it was 1st August.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And was it the same scenario? You had to get tricked into it?
This time around I talked to this lady, the same lady that was in the first process. I went to her home and explained everything. She already knew about it because she's my dad's business partner. She knew about it that I had relapsed and I was losing weight and all those things that come with the drug abuse. She was just hoping that I can get back by the will of God. I went to her place and just showed her that I'm ready to go back to rehab.
Yeah.
I need it this time around.
Without them talking you into it.
Yes. One of the major things that really pushed me, my girlfriend made it seem like she could potentially break up with because she knew I was using again. Same person that aborted my child that I wanted so much, even when I couldn't maybe able take care of it.
Yeah.
We stuck together. We're still together.
You are still together?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
She's one of the reasons why I felt like I needed the help and sought for it. Because she made me feel like you're really losing the weight and I know you're using again.
Again, so she was aware of it even before.
We can't really work out if you're using drugs.
Yeah.
And I also knew that I needed to stop, but I couldn't. So I ended up going to this lady and I talked to her about it and she offers the help. She's like, your dad is so mad, he can't really help me. I'm ready to.
Oh, dad was already aware as well.
Yeah, and he was so mad. He was so mad, so disappointed. He thought the moment a person goes to rehab, they can never go back, can never relapse.
Mm-hmm. He didn't know anything about relapsing.
He didn't know anything about relapsing and drugs and all that. He doesn't. Maybe right now he just has the information because of his son. Mm-hmm. But he didn't know about drugs at all.
Yeah.
Rehab, he didn't. He also had that belief that rehab is for mad people until his son was again there. That's how he didn't take me to Butabika, because some people were referring Butabika for him. He's like, but how does my son get taken? How do people hear about it that my son was once at Butabika? That's how he looks for a private rehab.
So when you went back, it took you 3 months there?
I again did 4 months because they felt like this time around, though he was still doing class B drugs.
Oh, they have classes?
Yeah, the very strong ones are class A. These other ones are class B. Cocaine, methamphetamine, those ones are class A. Heroin, that's class A. Marijuana, cigarettes, alcohol, class B. Nami has class B. And class B at that place is 3 months. But they felt now, since I had relapsed, maybe I needed more time. And they felt like in the first month when I went there, I was so mad, I was so angry. They felt the inner wounds that I had. I remember this one of the directors telling me when I was having a conversation with her, and she told me, I could see it in your eyes that you are wounded internally. You had inner wounds. Whenever you're seated in class, Ian, I can see it. I can see your inner wounds. So that was deep. That was deep. I can see your inner wounds. They come out in your face whenever you're seated. You're here with us, but only physically. Mentally, you're not with us. And you're really wounded. You need the help. And she also told me I almost lost my mind because I used to move around the compound, around the house. It's like a house, a normal house. Yeah. Enclosed. Now, every after a meal, I'll just move around. That restlessness, I should just observe it as someone who has almost in their mind. I don't know how she did that, how she evaluated that.
They know. They're professionals.
So she was like, that thing that you always do, I be seeing you. The thing you do every time around lunch, that restlessness, you really need to stop the drugs. There's also something that happened around the time when I had relapsed, when I was still home before the rehab. I got drunk and the things I was doing, I even remember my younger sister coming to me and asking me about Ian. She first left me and came to me at some point. I was like, but Ian, what was wrong with you on that Sunday? I'm like, what Sunday? She's like, you don't remember? You
had no recollection of anything?
Yeah, she just leaves me there. Then at that time she comes, but she's like, but Ian, I want to know what was wrong with you on that Sunday. I'm like, you just kept insisting, Melissa, what is it? What was wrong on that sand? You were acting as if you were mad. Getting the chicken, putting it here, removing them, putting them the other side. Then you were talking to mom, removing your shirt, shouting. This is like a 9-year-old. She will tell me you're acting as if you're mad.
Yeah.
Like mad of mentally insane.
So these are two people telling you something that is related.
Yeah. Around the time when she told me, I called my counselor and asked her, what are these things that you give us? These tablets that you give us, what do they do to us? Because I've never had such an event in my life of where I'm told I'm acting mad, like I'm not upright, mentally upright. What's up? She's like, then when you're still using, maybe you're reaching a point where you're almost losing your mind. And then now, after you've relapsed, the drugs are just starting from where you had stopped. If you're not careful, you'll actually lose your mind. And I have a friend that has lost his mind. That friend that was telling me he thinks I have started using again, like we were using when we were just getting introduced to this.
Yeah.
I remember he lost his mind, like really. Just that they got him the help very fast, but he lost his mind.
Oh, so he didn't recover?
He recovered now, he's good.
Oh.
But the bad thing is back to using, deep in it.
And what state are you in now?
I feel I'm at my best right now, mentally, physically. It's just the financial that it needs to get better.
Yeah.
I'm doing quite well. The trust is back from my family members. They just need to trust me now with maybe the finances. But just the first elements of my trust coming back, I believe they're in place. My family, I'm good. I've cut off all the friends I had. I have like 2 friends. Yes, they're still using, but I consider them friends. I still consider them friends. I don't meet them much, but I still consider them friends.
You don't feel like you might go back?
Right now, I don't.
And when you think about your friend who is back to using, how do you process that?
I feel sad for him. I feel sad that he even went through this very challenging situation of almost having his mind gone, but he didn't learn from it, and is now still just going deeper. And I feel sad for him because I can't really do much for him.
Right.
Rehabilitation in Uganda is quite expensive. I think it's worldwide, but I just have to look at him and feel pity. For example, the place where I was, per day I was paying 50,000. Actually, I wasn't paying the money. My sponsors were paying 50,000 per day for the 3 months. For 3 months, it's 4.5 million. 4 months, 6 million. Not many people can afford that. I can't afford that right now. I see and I would want them to get the help. I recently was talking to some friends. I once in a while go back to the ghetto because I have that thing in me, like, you don't have to forget where you come from, where you came from, no matter what. It's like a code, street code.
Yeah.
I'm both street and uptown, ghetto as well. And we have that code that you always have to go back to your people. Now I once in a while check on them. Now as having a conversation with them, like 4 of them took the time to just listen to me and they seemed interested. Now one of them asked me a really interesting question, like, so Ian, now me, the way I am right now, if I need the help like the one you got, what does it take for me to help? Like, because I did first understand him, but he made it clear. He's like, let's say I need the help and I'm here in the ghetto. If I can't find people to get me that rehabilitation, I just gave him a plain answer. It's for just dying. You'll just die. Because rehab is not for the poor. That's what I told him. And he's like, but why is it like that? Couldn't find a straight answer. It's just like that. And I just took him through the whole process. He's like, man, we really need to solve these things. But as he's saying that, he's there chewing his cat, mirror, whatever you might want to call it. It's like, but I would want to stop this, but man, the 6 million, 50,000 per day. Why is it like that? Can the Ugandan government do something about that? I'm like, I wish we were talking to the right people. And right now that challenge is like a pandemic. It's another pandemic, but it's a silent pandemic. We're losing many of what could have been our workforce in the future. Our future legislators, artists, footballers, musicians, entertainers to drugs before we're able to even see a portion of their potential. And it's sad. As someone that has been there, I feel sad because, man, 50,000 per day.
It's a lot.
It's just a small portion of us that can afford that.
What do you think about your life now?
I think I have better chances at achieving my success. And I'm excited to see what's about to come.
What does it take for you to achieve that?
I'll need to have many of my dreams coming to life. I have ideas in my mind. I have different ideas in my mind that I feel like if I were able to implement to completion, I would achieve quite a successful life financially. By the success, I'm talking about financially. Being financially independent. I have some ideas that would really take me there.
Yeah.
And I feel like first things first is the life. Provided you have the life, you're able to do a lot. You're able to do anything. Impossibility is fiction, provided you have the life.
So we're looking at you making sure that you maintain your life.
I really need to maintain the sobriety, first things first.
Yeah.
I could have lost my life, but I got back. I'm glad I got back. I'm willing to fight for it.
Do you believe in prayer? I was going to say I'm going to pray for you.
I don't believe so much in religion.
Yeah.
I don't believe so much in religion, but I believe there is a higher power. Mm-hmm. Definitely. The thing I think about, and I'm like, maybe there's someone higher than us.
Maybe.
The rivers, the mountains, the hills and valleys, the lakes, us, the humans, we didn't just fall from wherever we fell.
Mm-hmm. Like the locusts.
Man, there's a strong force that definitely put all this in place. But this religion stuff, I don't.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm hopeful, and I feel like the very first step to someone healing is being able to let those emotions flow and have open conversations about what they experience. Because I feel in having conversations, this is when we are introspective, have a sense of reevaluation.
True.
So I'm really hopeful that you are going to make it to whatever you want to achieve.
Inshallah.
Because we're going to inshallah.
I like that inshallah.
It sounds good.
I'm not really Islamic, but I like the inshallah, mashallah. I like it. Just saying it after a statement. I like it.
It sounds so good. It's reaffirming.
Inshallah, if God wills it.
Exactly.
By the grace of God.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what would you want to leave for us? What would you want a listener to walk away with at the end of this episode? What words do you want them to walk away with?
Guard your mental health as much as you can with all that jealousy and zeal that you can afford to come up with. And this is a quote that I also want to leave. I don't know where it came from. I feel like it's me that came up with it after watching my friend go through what he was going through.
Yeah.
The mind is the strongest weapon you can ever face. I saw him coming from normal to a state where he was mad, like we call it in Uganda. We're at a trip, and I thought he was okay. We left on a Sunday, and we were 9 boys, 9 males, and 1 female. This female had taken us to their home in Isinjiro, and I was the closest to this particular guy. Now, on a Tuesday, another friend is coming to me to tell me, do you know our boy is actually losing his mind? Get out of here. Just watch him. Mm-hmm. We're with him here. Just watch him. Just see what he'll be doing. But every day that passed by after I was told that, I realized that he was really going out of control, really losing his mind in our eyes, in our midst.
And you were helpless.
And you could just see that he's just struggling with his mind because he's very smart. You could just see it's his mind that he's fighting with. At some point, we even had a conversation with him, like, we think you're like this. And the things he was telling us, I think it's from there that I got it, that the mind is the strongest weapon you can ever face. And it can as well save you through different challenging situations. It's your mind.
Thank you for your time. We appreciate the knowledge and your experience and ability to be vulnerable. I'm hopeful that someone is going to walk away with something from this episode.
Thank you.
My takeaway from this conversation is that whatever fall you're at, whether it is the first or the second or the third or even the 10th, it is possible for you to rise up again and have a better life. Ian, thank you so much for sharing your experience, and I hope that someone took something important from the conversation. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Hashtag with Nabguza Chiwanuka. If you loved what you heard, make sure you subscribe to Hashtag with Nabguza Chiwanuka in your podcast platform of choice, and make sure you share it with your friends, loved ones, and anyone you believe is affected by the millennial world around us. Also, share your insights about what connected with you on social media, either using the hashtag HTNK or tag us. We are at Hashtag with Nabguza Chiwanuka on Instagram and Facebook, and on Twitter our handle is at HTNK Podcast. And for more insightful conversations, check out nabguzachiwanuka.com. Catch you next week, and until then, take care of your mind, rise up again, and start a new life. Ciao.